Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Come with me on what may be a long journey on a puzzle that's rated 5 stars on Logic Masters Germany. And I'm looking forward to giving it a go, but I'm a bit scared because I don't normally take on 5-star puzzles. In fact, I spent some of the weekend having a go at the UK Sudoku Championship, and that was more a race through as many of the 17 puzzles as was possible in the 2 hours. That's very much my pace. This probably won't be a race. We'll have a look in a moment at the rules. Don't forget, on Patreon we've got the brilliant Yin Yang Journey puzzle hunt. On the channel you can see some very interesting videos recently, including Simon collaboratively solving with Sophie from New Zealand, which was a very entertaining video. Do check it out. And of course our latest attempt at the Blueprints house. Yeah, it's a fantastic game. I mean, I know I'm beginning to despair of the fact that we might ever end or reach the goal of that game, or even the stated first goal of the game, but it has been great fun playing it on live streams, which we've done. Some evenings you can catch up on the VODs. On Patreon, of course, also we've got crosswords and a connections video recently, so check those out. We've got all our merchandise like this marvellous Cracking the Cryptic mug, and we've got SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD on links under the video, and all our apps featuring Fog of War, and of course now also featuring the worms, the 2 worms of James Sinclair and Marty Sears, which are brilliant. We highly recommend them. Do check those out on the links under the video and have a go at those apps. Now, let's have a look at the rules. This is a puzzle by Rix, who says it's a follow-up to their personal own favourite puzzle called Killer Kropke Circles. This one was created for the March 2023, that's a while ago, isn't it? Monthly puzzle prompt on the CTC Discord server, which is great. Now, let's do the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Numbers may not repeat in a cage. Digits in the cage sum to the cage totals, which are to be discovered. Now, the cage totals matter because a black dot, for instance, indicates a ratio of 1 to 2, not just between the digits the black dot joins, but also between the cages it joins, their totals. And a white dot indicates a difference of 1 between the adjoining digits, but also between the cages that are joined. And here's a real kicker, all such dots are given. So if there was any opportunity for another dot, it would have been given. Now, there are a few greater than symbols that are kind of pointing to the lower digit as usual. They're doing what they mean, and they apply both to the digits but also to the cage totals as well. However, not all of those symbols that would be possible are given. I mean, it's an exciting rule set, but it's quite daunting. Do feel free to give this a try on the first link under the video. Check the video length to see how I found it if you're interested in that. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. I think this will be a journey. So I'm going to start with the cells in box 3 here. Those 3 cells are joined by black dots. And they must therefore be a sequence of either 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8. And this digit must therefore be 2 or 4. Now, did it say that the ratio would be the same way round? No, it didn't particularly. So what I mean there is if that 2 is 2 and that's 1, so this is the lower digit than that. It doesn't mean this is the lower value cage. In fact, that is obviously not going to apply because these 2 are going to be both higher and lower than that one. All of these digits are from 1, 2, 4, 8. And the value of this cage is going to be double or half the value of this cage. The value of this cage is somewhere between 15 and 35. The value of this one, I know that because there's 5 different digits, and if the max is 35, the min is 15. Here we're talking about a difference of 21 to 39. And the same is true for this 6-digit cage. All the digits have to be different. So 21 to 39 and 15 to 35. Yeah, okay, this cage cannot have a value higher than this one because it would have to be twice the value of this one. The most this can be is 35, but the least this can be is 21. So that wouldn't work. So this is definitely the lower value cage. So we're talking somewhere between 15 and, gosh, there's going to be maths in this, isn't there? 15 and half of the maximum value of this one, which is 39. So somewhere between 15 and 19 in this cage. Well, that means it's got to have a 1 in it in one of those positions. And this is not a 1, therefore. Now there has to be a 4 in one of these two cells because they're made up of either a 2-4 or a 4-8 pair, and that digit is not a 4. Oh, this digit, by the way, is the same as this one, because that's a sequence of 3 because of the column, and that's a sequence of 3 because of the box. So that's not a 1 anymore either. Now, this cage adds up to somewhere between, let's give it a colour. Pink adds up to somewhere between 15 and 19. Does it have to have a 2 in it? I don't think so, because 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the version without a 1, is just missing that 15 to 19 cutoff. So if there wasn't a 2 in this cage, it could be 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. By the way, let's colour these two both green because they both add up to the same total, because it's exactly the same between any 5 and 6 cell cage with this pairing. The 5 cell cage has to be lower. So if this was 38, if this was a 19 cage and thus needn't have a 2, that's worth thinking about. Then this would be worth 38, and then we would know what was in it. It would be 987653. Oh, what would those two digits be if it was 987653? We wouldn't have 1, 2, and 4 in the cage. They couldn't exist. That's fabulous. So we cannot have this pink without a 2 in it. So there is a 2 in the pink cage somewhere. And now this digit isn't a 2, and it's the same as this digit. And now this is always higher than this, so this can't be an 8 anymore. Well, I mean, I haven't got a digit in the puzzle, but I feel like I've made progress. In fact, did we establish that this isn't? Yes, now that's a 1 or a 2. This isn't 987653. So this cage doesn't add up to 19. In fact, that's how we knew there was a 2 in it. Because as soon as the total comes down to 15 to 18, there has to be a 2. Basically, the way I did that was I was looking at the only possibility of not having a 2, which is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 equals 19, and ruling that out. Now, I'm going to bother briefly, I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to bother thinking about the case that doesn't have a 4 in it. So we would have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Or maybe 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, adding up to 17 or 18. And this would have to be worth 34 or 36. What I'm trying to allow is a 4 here. So this would be 35 or 36 with a 4 in. I mean, I fear there are many ways of doing that, and I can't really rule them out because of this cage. I was a bit lucky, or it was part of Rick's genius, that we were able to rule out the version of this cage without a 2 in it. Oh, what do we do next? Well, we now know that pink's total is somewhere between 15 and 18. So green's total is an even number between 30 and 36. So green is on a white dot with blue. And blue is more than green because of that greater than sign. It's one more than green. So it's an odd number between 31 and 37. And then that's on a white dot to a bigger number, to, let's call it red. And that's on a white dot to this yellow, but this time we don't know whether we're getting bigger or smaller between red and yellow. Oh, it's weird, this puzzle. And there are connections. Here connects to here, that connects to this one, that connects to this one, and that connects to this one. Oh look, yellow carries on, so there's two sets in the puzzle. Yellow connects to violet, violet connects, have I been saying collects, to orange. So that is a sequence all the way from pink through green, blue, red, yellow, violet, orange. And this is another sequence from the 2x2 to the V pentomino, to the L hexomino, to the L octomino, to the other one. And that included a 2 to 1 ratio here. So this green to blue to red to yellow to violet to orange sequence started with a number between 30 and 36. Then this is one more, this is one more. This is one more or less. The trouble is, green we know is even, blue is odd, red is even, yellow is odd, and yellow is not connecting to green, but that could be because the white dot that might apply wouldn't apply between those two digits or those two digits. Oh, that's weird. I'm not going to enjoy the negative constraint as it plays out in this puzzle, I feel. I'm also looking at the law of leftovers as we go around the grid. That digit in the top row must be in one of those two. That one must be in one of those two. That one, no, that one must be in one of those two. Oh, and I missed that one having to be in one of those two. I mean, that's quite interesting, but it's not ultimately helpful at the moment. Okay, let's go back to thinking about this being a 4, and that would be 2 and that would be 1. And this total would have to be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 or 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 equals 17 or 18. And the total of this would have to be 34 or 36. So that would be missing 3 digits that either added up to 9 or 11. Very difficult to know what that implies. Do I know that 3's in this cage? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 would be 17. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 would be 18. I mean, I think that's still possible. I don't know that 3's got to be in the cage, much as I might be suspicious that it will be. I don't know it. There really are the minimum number of connections in a way, although maybe that being a pair is quite interesting. Am I meant to do some holistic maths on the whole bloomin' shebang? I probably am. Okay, just for a moment, bear with me. I'm going to recolor all the green cages blue because I know they've got an even total because they're double this. So then that's an odd cage. This is an even one. This is an odd one. This is an even one. Oh, excuse me a second. There we go. And this is an odd one, and that's correctly colored. Now, that's quite interesting. Oh, I'm going to briefly consider the relationship between a 6-cell cage and an 8-cell cage that have a black dot between them. Because I suspect the 8-cell cage has to be double the 6-cell cage. Let's go for the minimum 8-cell cage, which would be 36. Yeah, we can't get up to 72 there. So this one has to be even. This one is connected by a white dot and must be odd. Oh, I don't know about pink, of course. That could be odd or even. And the trouble is here now, well, let's call these 2 greens and a yellow. The 2 greens are the same parity, and it's different from the yellow parity. I was hoping to add up the whole grid, which I know will add up to 405 with all the digits in it, which is the secret number 45 times 9 rows, columns or boxes. And is, anyway, 405 is an odd number. So if we took out all the evens, we'd be left with 1, 2, 3, 4 definite odd cages. The greens, which are either odd or even, must add up to an even number because if they're both odd, they add up to an even number. If they're both even, they add up to an even number. So we would be left with yellow and pink having to add up to an odd number. And that means one of yellow and pink is odd and one of them is even. So if pink is odd, yellow is even, and then green is odd, and then both times through the black dot we're multiplying up from an odd cage to an even cage. But if pink is even, then yellow is odd, then green is even. So green is always the same as pink, basically. And yellow is the opposite. But we don't know whether pink is even or odd yet. I don't know, I don't feel that that's dramatically helped. Yeah, I don't know, I can't tell which is even or odd. Is there anything going on here? We don't have any 9-cell cages. They would have been very useful in some ways, providing an extra region. If pink was odd, this would have to be 15 or 17. What about this? What do we know? This would be 6 cells at least, so at least 21. Oh, that's quite interesting. Actually, it is quite limited. Sorry, I haven't thought about the totals. 21 to 22, because this is the most important black dot in the puzzle. Wow, 16 minutes in before I spotted that. This can only be 21 or 22, so that this can then be 42 or 44. So the digit missing from this cage is either 1 or 3. I'm subtracting the cage total from 45. 1 or 3 is missing from the blue cage. And this pink, well, it's either 21 or 22. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. This cell sees all of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which must be in the pink cage. So this one is 6, 7, 8, or 9, and must go in one of those two by Sudoku in the final column. So maybe I can do holistic maths. It's a bit unlikely that they're all forced one way, but no, because I just don't know whether this is higher or lower than that. No. Oh, well, actually, let's start with the minimum. 21 and 42. These cells would add up to 63 if we went for the absolute minimum. That would leave these minus this. Because this group of cells adds up to 90, if that group of cells adds up to 63, there's a 27 difference between those 5 and that one. And that, 27 plus a 2 and a 4 there would be 33. Take away maybe a 1 there, 32. And then these two would have to add up to 13 to make the 45. Oh, I mean, that's not conclusive, but it is quite indicative. So this cage has definitely got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in it, and either 6 or 7. And this cage is missing either 1 or 3. So these two digits are the missing digit and that one. So they are made up of 6, 7, 8, 9, and either 1 or 3. That's weird, but it's true. And okay, here's another point then. This cage adds up, just said, to 42 or 44. There's a white dot to this one, which adds up to not 45, because that would be all 9 digits, either 41 or 43. The missing digit from this cage is 4 or 2. And that digit and the 4 or 2 have to be in these two cells. I can't really pencil mark that, it's too much, but 2 and 4 have to be in these cells by virtue of whatever triple this is. In fact, they have to be in these cells as well, so this digit is not 2 or 4. 2 and 4 now have to be in these cells, and that can't be a 4 anymore. Yes. Okay, I've got a digit in the puzzle after 20 minutes. That's an 8. That's the same as this one. 8, 4, 2. I feel good. I feel good about this. This one contains 1, 2, 4. Now, we don't know that it's odd, so it's still anywhere between 15, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 18. Does it have to have a 3 in it? No, it could be 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. This can't be an 8 anymore. Let's take the possibles. There's an 8 in one of these cells. The missing digit from this one is either 1 or 3. These are selected from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so they're not 9. This cage. don't know. What do I know? It adds up to somewhere between 30 and 36, and in an even number. So it's missing a total of 15, 13, 11, or 9 in 3 cells. If it was missing 9 in 3 cells, since it has a 2, those 3 cells would have to be 1, 3, 5. And this would be 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. That's if this was an 18 cage. This would be a 36 cage. 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. I don't know, that looks all too feasible. Things are getting interesting though. I mean, it's great to have digits in the puzzle. This one, remember, what was that adding up to? Either 21 or 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And then this one is missing either a 1 or a 3. Wow, I don't know what to do with that. Okay, these two can't be 9s, and there's no 9 in this cage. So the 9 in box 6 is in one of those 3, and therefore these don't have a 9 in. And that means this isn't 9 as well. Ah! This is now a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 septuple, because that is the digit that doesn't appear in the cage. And then that digit, which is 1, 3, or 5, I could be wrong about that, it could be 6 or 7, and 9 appear in these 2 cells. So one of them is a 9. So we've got a 9 in one of those and a 9 in one of those. One of these 2 is a 9 as well. This cage adds up to, oh, it's a huge number though, isn't it? 30 to 36, and it's got an 8 in it. This adds up to the same number and also has an 8 in it. I was wondering for a moment if that meant the other digits were the same. I don't know how to consider that, I'm afraid. That digit is in one of these 2. Is that still right? Yes, it is. But the idea that this must be 1, 3, or 5 is not so sure. This can't be 5. Because it's on a black dot as an individual digit, and it can't be 8. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6. Now this could be 8, but if it wasn't, whatever it is, also 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6, is a digit in the pink cage and must be in one of those cells. Yeah, I don't know what that means. What does this total? This is 42 or 44. So this is 41 or 43. Missing a 2 or a 4. And missing, no, and that digit must be in one of those 2. Oh, I want to know what at least one cage definitely adds up to. That would be really interesting. Okay, this one is 21 or 22. So this is within one of that, somewhere between 20 and 23. This is within one of that. So somewhere between 19 and 24. The trouble is the numbers, the potentials expand as you go out further, as you go away further. So 19 to 24 is quite a wide range. Does it play in box 5's total with whatever's here? This cage adds up to somewhere between 30 and 36, but it's missing the 8 and that digit from the box. I don't think that gives me maths I can do, or it doesn't give me something that's limited enough. Okay, here's a question. Where is this digit in this cage? Is it in it at all? And if it is, it's there. Or can it not be in it because this cage couldn't be missing a 6 or a 7? Well, I don't know. Let's just think about this one is somewhere between 30 and 36. Then we're plus 1 plus 1. We're up to somewhere between 32 and 38. Then we go to this, which is 1 away, but we don't know if it's plus or minus. And then this, which is plus. So we could be up to 40, 32 to 40, I would say. And then this is 1 away from that. So it's an odd total, somewhere between 31 and 41. I don't know how to use that information. That doesn't seem to be doing anything. This is a tricky puzzle. There has to be a 4 somewhere in this cage and in this cage. Oh, 3 can't be in either of those cells because those digits can't be 2 or 4. That's quite interesting. If this was... I'm looking at that relationship, not really getting anything out of it. Okay, this one can't be 1 or 3 on the same principle on this white dot. That can't be 2 or 4. Ah, so this is the 6 or 7 that's coming from there. And this digit is the 1 or 3 that is not in this cage. Oh well, this is now not 8, so it's 5, 6 or 7 on the white dot with that. 6 is definitely used in one of those cells. And can't be here, but it doesn't mean it's here. In fact, that digit is the same as this. So that digit and that have a white dot relationship as well. So 9, wow, I mean, yes, we know it's 1 or 3 that's missing from this cage. So obviously 9, 8, 7 and 6 are all in it. Oh, this digit, which is here, is also in one of these 2 cells by Sudoku. But is it connecting to 5 here, or is it connecting to the other digit from 6 or 7? And we don't know the answer to that. Ah, this takes some thinking about. It really does. I mean, I do know 6 is on that white dot. 2, 4 and 8 are here. Everything else is odd in the box. This one can't be 9. So these are definitely odd. I mean, I don't think this is a parity puzzle, so I'm not convinced this is very interesting. Except that 2 and 4 must be in this group of cells. Six, though, could be here. Goodness me, this is very tricky to me. So this one we've got as 21 or 22, making this 42 or 44. This one adds up to 41 or 43. The digit missing, oh, these 2 are that digit and the missing digit, which is 41 or 43, 2 or 4. So one of these is that digit, and the other one is a 2 or a 4. And one of those appears here. And then we're looking at where does that go in column 1, and it's one of these two cells. So that digit now does go there. It goes into one of these two places, and if it was there, it would have to be here by Sudoku in column 1. And if instead of going in row 1, column 2, it went in row 1, column 1 as it worked its way around the grid, then it couldn't appear in this cage at all, which would therefore be missing a digit from 6 or 7 and would add up to 39 or 38. Now those were possible. We were on something up to 30 here. 31, 32. No. Was 30 the max here? No bother. The max was 36 here. 37, 38, 39, 38, 37. Yeah, okay, it's... Oh, but this is odd. The digit missing from this cage oh, hang on. This is... No, I knew this here. This is even. The digit missing is 1 or 3. The digit missing from this cage is 2 or 4, because that's an even cage. The digit missing from this cage is odd. Oh, goodness me. Does that mean I can't push this digit around into those cells? No, it doesn't. That would be a digit that did appear in all the cages, not one that was missing in some of them. Have I forgotten something? So the digit missing from this odd cage of 8 cells is an even digit. It could be 6 there, or it could be whatever goes here. I'm losing my mind here a bit. Oh, goodness gracious. Rix really has messed with my head here. I mean, I'm sort of making some understanding progress, but it's so gradual. If all the cages were in a sequence in the grid, then maybe adding up the whole grid to 405 would be worth it. But they're not. They're in these 2 different sequences, and it's irritating, is what it is. Now we've got a 5, 6, or 7 there that can't get into this cage. Is that useful? Without a 3 in this cage, it would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Then that would have to be a 7. And this would be a 6. And if this was 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, adding to 18, this would add to 36. The digits missing from it would be 1, 3, 5. And if you had 7 here and 6 here, that would be a 9. That would be 4, 6, 7. And that would break that cell. Right, that'll do. Okay, I'm now going to say that 3 is not missing from this cage, because if it was, bear with me through this, This would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, the maximum value now of 18 in the cage. The value of this would be 36. There'd be 3 digits not in that cage, which would add up to 9, not including 2. They would be 1, 3, 5. So basically, the cage would have to contain 6 and 7, and that would break this cell. So 3 is in this cage. It now has 1, 2, 3, and 4 in it, and another digit. I'd better take that call. Sorry, a second. No, I really didn't need to take that call. Sorry. But I thought it was about something else. One, 2, 3, and 4 are in this cage, and it's got an... Do I know it's got an odd total? No, I don't. I don't know whether pink is odd or even. Bother. 10 plus either 5, 6, or 7. Oh, it can't be 18 anymore. That's got ruled out now. So this can't be 36. So the same is true for this one, which is either 34, 32 or 30. Those are the numbers. (34, 32 or 30). How does that help? How does that help? Well, maybe here. 34, 32 or 30. Okay, sorry. Right, that was the call I did have to take. Sorry again. Now, this is now 30, no, this one is 15, 16 or 17. So the only even possible total is 16, which would put a 6 here. This would be 32, and the 6 here would come out of this cell. That would be a 6. This would be 32, and the 3 digits it would be missing would clearly be a 6 and 2 digits adding up to 7, which couldn't be 2, 5 or 6, 1. They would have to be 3, 4. So it would be missing 6, 3, 4. It would have 1, 5, 7, 9 in those cells. These would be 3, 4, 8. Oh, it's so close to giving me something. Oh, is this, I mean, when am I going to suddenly spot that there's Sudoku I can do? That would be an exciting moment. And these totals that I'm beginning to home in on a little bit here, unfortunately don't relate to this group of cells. Or do, well, they do a bit, because that pink colour is the same parity as the pink colour here. So they do a little bit. So if this was 16, this would be 22. And this would be 44, missing a 1, and that would be a 1. And if this was 22, it wouldn't have a 6 in it, and that would be a 6, and that would be a 6, and that would be a 1. And if that was 44, this would be 43, missing a 2. And if that's a 6, this would be a 6-2 pair. And one of them would go in these cells. Oh, it's so complicated now. I don't know. I mean, should I be trying to rule out the lowest of 15, 16, 17, or the highest, or the even one in the middle? Tell you what, it doesn't have a 9 in that cage, so the 9 in this row is in one of those two cells. That's a thrilling deduction, isn't it? Okay, what's this adding up to? 30, 32, or 34? It's missing a total of 15, or 13, or 11, but it has a 2 in it. If it was missing 11, it would have to be missing a 1 and 2 other digits adding up to 10. That's not being very nice to me. Missing 11, 13, or 15. Fifteen's annoying because it averages 5. Oh, is it just worth considering adding the total of these 3 cages? Which is very similar to the total of boxes 2 and 3, isn't it? Well, we've got... What have I said? I've said this one is 42 or 44. So this one is 41 or 43, 2 options. This pair has 2 options as well. I'm literally going to get out a piece of paper here, sorry. 15, oh no, it has 3 options. Bother. 15 times, I mean, effectively you can multiply this one by 3 to get the total of those. So 45, 48, or 51. And this one I'm saying is 41 or 43. So the absolute minimum of these cages is 86. The maximum is 88. No, 98. But these cells must add to 2 boxes worth is 90. Take away that one, and we're on 85, 84, or 83. But then add in these 2 to get to no more than 98. They could be anything. They could be up to 15 total. Oh, that didn't help. It was worth thinking about, but it didn't help. I honestly thought we might be onto something there. Just shows how much I'm clutching at straws a bit now. This is an odd total, so it's missing an even digit. So if that was 6, the digit missing would be 2 or 4 and would appear up here instead. If that was 7, the digit missing is still 2 or 4. We've worked out the digit missing from this cage is 2 or 4. Yeah, this is not informing anything more. Oh, where does 8 go in this box? It goes in one of those cells, because that 8 is in a cage with those cells and in a row with those ones. I mean, that's just utterly basic Sudoku. That digit is in one of those 3 cells. So it's not the same as that one, even though there's a good chance of this being 1, 3, or 5. And that digit is in one of those 3. I mean, it's an interesting relationship. Okay, let's think about it a bit more where it's mattering. 8 there, 8 there. One of these is an 8, where it's actually sort of doing something. This cage is missing an odd digit. This cage is missing, who knows, 3 digits that add up to an even total. let's think about this being 15. 1, 2, 3, 5 there. And this would be 6 or 7. This would be a 6, 7 pair. 7 comes out of these cells. Oh, in fact, 7 can come out of those two, because this group of cells includes both 6 and 7, whichever one's not. Oh, no, I'm not sure about that. This could, at the moment, be 7, and that could be 6, and then there could be a 7 up here, so not the thing I was claiming. All I know is that digit is that one. And that must be in one of these two. Yes, I looked at that before. So it would be touching either the other of 7 or 6 or 5 in one of these cells. I don't know what that means. It's very close to meaning something. That can't be a 9 because it can't be touching 8 there. Oh no, it doesn't have to touch. That's not a touching digit. It's just a greater than or less than sign. So that was rubbish that I was nearly seduced by. Oh, for 2 to be in this cage, it would have to be in one of these cells. So for 4 not to be in this, so if this added up to 41, 4 would be in one of those two, and it would have to be in one of these 3. So if this added up to 41, oh, I'm not going to be able to relate it back to the total here. Wow, this is very, very difficult. But it is fascinating. I'd like to persevere. So we were starting with 30, 32 or 34 now here. This one is one more. 31, 33 or 35. This is one more again, 32, 34 or 36. Then this is one away from that, but it could be lower. Oh, hang on. There's an increment of 1 from that one to this one, and then an increment of 1 to this one. But by the time we get here, we've got to be on at least 36 because we've got an 8-cell cage. So this can't, oh goodness, that's been available forever. This can't be 32 because you could only get up to 33, 34, and that's not enough for an 8-cell cage. So this is not 32, this is not 31, this is not 30, and this is not 15. This is 16 or 17 and has 6 or 7 in it. And this is 32 or 34 and is missing in 3 digits either 13 or 11. Could it have a 1 in it? Only if it was missing 3, 4, 6 to make up 13. These would be 1, 2, 5, 7, 9. That would be a 6. This would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and that would not be a 6. Okay, that would be still plausible. Oh well, at least we've reduced this cage to 2 possibilities now. And let's carry on thinking about what happened here. So, even at the maximum of 17 there, 34 here, 35 here, I'm maxing, 36 here, 37 here, 38 is the maximum here, in which case 7 would be the digit missing from this even cage, which is an odd digit. So the minimum is 36. So either 7 or 9 is missing from this cage and is going in one of these two cells, along with that digit, which also has to appear in the column. 7 or 9 is the missing digit, and that one appears again. I wish that had done something. Didn't really do anything. And this cage, we're up to 7 or 9 missing in a total of 36 or 38. This one is at least 35. Well, it can't be 35. No, it can't be more than 39. That's the maximum. Let me just check that again. 17, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. That is the maximum. The missing digit is 6 or 8, which must go in one of these cells. 6 or 8 because this is an odd cage, so its missing digit is even. So that digit and the missing digit 6 or 8 go in these cells, these two. 6 can't go in that cell. So if 6 is the missing digit from here, that is a 6. That won't work. Hang on. If 6, what did I just say? If 6 is the missing digit, that is where 6 goes. Okay, that is possible. But then this digit is that one and not 6. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That can be. But can 8 be the missing digit from this? That would have to be an 8. That fits in quite well, I suppose. Ah, that's disappointing. Okay, let's think about it again. 32 or 34 in this cage. 33 or 35 in this. This is bigger. So this... Am I right about that? We are. This was at least 16. So this is 32 or 34. This is 33 or 35. Well, it's got to have 9 and 8 in it, which is interesting. I mean, that's something I haven't observed before. $33 or 35. If it was 33, could it be 9, 8, 6, 5, 4? No, that's not enough. That's only 32. So 7's in it as well. Okay, so let's think about box 5 and where 8 goes. It's either in this cage or it's sitting right there. Wow, I don't know. 4, 1, 2, 3, 8. These are from 5, 6, 7, 9 because they can't be 1, 2, or 3. This digit is higher than that digit, which has to be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, or 4. No, it could even be 3. The minimum here is 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 33, so that could be a 3. Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Oh, there's the Fistomephel ring. Is that worth thinking about? That's going to contain all of these digits, and they're going to be the same in these cells. That's quite weird. I wish I knew how that might help. I don't think it does really. Wow, where are we? 33 or 35 here, and this is one bigger. This is 34 or 36. I don't know how to use that. Let's assume we were continually getting bigger. 36, 37, 38, 39. So those would be 39 and 36, adding up to a total between them of 75. You could take out that cell, or rather these would have to add up to 15, having taken off that. Well, that couldn't be done, I don't think. 36 and 39 would be 75. Oh no, it's fine. You just take out a bigger number and then, well, these wouldn't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because these digits would be worth at least 8. I don't know. How do we get something out of this? Oh, this is tricky. There's something about the pattern, isn't there? All the dots are given. I haven't thought about the negative constraint at all, and that could be a huge error. Yeah, that could be a huge error, right. So if that's 34, if this was 33, that would be 34. Ah, and whatever this was would... No, hang on. This, yeah, if this was the same as that, oh, it can't be. We're always going 2 bigger. It's either that this is 30, no, 32 or 34 for this cage, and then that's 33 or 35. This is 34 or 36. We can't go back down to this cage. Because it would be the same as this and it would have a white dot. Oh, but only if the digits were the same. Oh, I'd forgotten that. That's why it's not really worth considering the negative constraint thing at the moment. Oh, that's maddening. Because the digits would have to be the same as well as the cage totals being the same to justify the white dot or its failure to appear. Wow. No, okay, I'm not really getting anywhere now. This is 32 or 34. Now, what are we on here? We know this is 21 or 22. So this is somewhere between 20 and 23. And this is somewhere between 19 and 24. Now, this is in a 32 or 34 cage. but it's missing at least 9 out of that cage. So let's go with the minimum here. No, the maximum here, missing the minimum there. 34 cage, missing 9. The most these could be is 25 plus something between 19 and 24 there. There's no problem with that, really. I mean, it's too high. Okay, maybe I should think about what was I on? The minimum that could be here? No, I was doing the maximum. The minimum that could be here, if this was a 32 cage and that was a 9, 17 there, these would only be worth 15. And then we could mix that with a 24 cage here easily. That's not going to do it. Oh, goodness, this is frustrating. If I could just work out the parity. For that to be 22, this would be the even version of the cage. It would be the 16 version. And this would be 32. And this would be 33. This one would be 22. What would this be? I just don't know. Is there something I can do with parity because there's only one even digit that can be in that group? I don't think so. No, I'm not buying that. Wow, this is so cruel. Where's that digit in row 8? It has to be in one of those 3 cells. So it's either on a black dot or it's this annoying digit that must be in one of those 2 cells. Okay, we've got a 2 and an 8 in this cage, and we know it adds up to either 32 or 34. So we take out the 8, and these 5 cells add up to either 24 or 26. What can I do with that? These 5 cells add up to 24 or 26. Nine, 7, 6, 4, 2. Well, they can't have 7 and 6 in. So the most they can be is 9, 7, 5, 2. Right, do they need the 9 in? Well, they do, because we've got a 9 in one of those 2 cells. So in these 2 rows, there's no 9 there. So the 9s in these 2 rows are 1 in that cage and 1 in this cage. So there's definitely a 9 in this cage. What about 7? Does it need 7? If it didn't have 7, it could be 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 2. What does that add up to? I think it's too many, but let's work it out. 15, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 2, 17, 27, 29, 34. No, hang on. It can't have 7 and 6. 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 2. That's the max. 987542. That is 35. But it has to be an even total. So 987532. Which is 34. Wow, so we know exactly what's in it. If this is the 17 cage, this is 92537 in some order, with a 6 there, and this is 148. There we go again. And if that's 148, 2 is the digit missing from this cage, because it's up there. So, if this is 17, that's 1237. This is 987532. So 97532. That's the 6. This is the 5. Well, this is interesting. This would be 97532. That's a 6. This is an 814 triple. Does this break? Does this break? We'd have 1, 2, 3, 7 here, and a 5 here. This would be a 9-6 pair. And that's 148. 96148. That's a 2-7 pair. We would definitely have 5 and 3. We'd know loads of blooming digits. If that was the 3, this would be 127. And these couldn't have the 7 in, so the 7 would be there. These would be 935 on top of 127. That would be 468. I mean, it all gets filled in quite quickly if this is the 17 cage. But it is very hard to see your way through this. Nine, 7, 5, 3, 2. 6 there. These are from 148. And we're on 34, 35, 36. This is 37 or 35. And it's including 2 digits from 148. Well, and this is 38 or 36. The digit it's missing is 7 or 9. But we are positing it has a 2, 7 there. So it would have to be missing a 9. The 9 would be there. Good grief, you could almost work it all out in your head. 2, 7 and a 9 there. What was it going to be? 3 here and 5 there. Wow, I mean, that would be so helpful. Maybe I should just try and rule out the 16 instead. If that's 16 and this cage is 32, trouble is, then I know there's a 9 here, but now we could have a 6 in one of these cells, couldn't we? 32 minus that is 24, and minus the 2 is 22. These 4 would add up to 22, including a 9. Let's remove that. The 3 digits add up to 13. I can obviously only use one of 7 or 6 max. And I can't use 2. but I either use 2 evens or no evens. So I think it's either 751 or 346, which are very different combos. 346, oh, they wouldn't work in those cells, but one of them could be there. 751 or 346. Well, in all of the possibilities I've come up with, either with this being 17 and this being 34, 7 and 6 are getting used up in those cells. So they don't get to feature here. That's just not enough to solve the puzzle. It's one scintilla short of enough information, I think, to finish this off. I know I'm over an hour. I can't help that. I'm just trying to find a way through this. Okay, if that was 32, this would be 33, this would be 34. Is there any kind of problem going on there? This is 33 or 35. I don't think I can use the negative constraint. I just don't think it's available to me. Oh, there's more. All black dots are given, so maybe where I know that cages are next to each other and don't have a white dot, but I do know that they are related. Is that, can that ever be interesting? I don't think so. Let's see what happens with the 1237 version, where this adds up to 34, because I think somehow this must break. 7 or 17 there, and this can't be 7 anymore. Then this has to be 34, and I think we've worked out that has to be 987532. There's no other way this works. And that, sorry, that's a 3579 quad, and that's a 6. This has to be a 5 now. We take 5, 7 out of, sorry, we take 5, 7 out of those cells. They're an 8. No, we don't. We leave them as a 6, 9 pair. This is a 1, 4, 8 triple. I've described that previously. That's a 2, 7 pair. We need 5 and 3 in these two cells. Now 7 can't be there and must be here. And that's become a 9. And we're left with a 1, 3 pair in the box. And that's now 4, 6, 8 in this world, in this scenario. Now down here, this has become a 6. This, therefore, has a 7 in. And that's where it doesn't work. I mean, that's so interesting. So the problem is that this has become an even total of 22, but it's meant to be matching the parity of this box here, which is 17. So that's where it fails, and I couldn't see that just by studying it. Now let's just go back a bit to where we were. And I should have been able to see that. So we were here, and I should have said, if that's 17, and all the ramifications of that are very clear, this can't be a 7. And this, we've worked that out. This would have to be 97351, and that would be a 6. And we know that that puts a 6 here, and that immediately makes this even, and that's the problem. So that's what I couldn't see without doing a bit of bifurcating. So there we go. You can have a go at me. I don't mind. But it proves finally that this can't be the well, it can't be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 version, the odd version. This has to be even. And therefore all the pink is even. And therefore the yellow becomes odd. And this even total is 22, including a 7. And they all see this cell, which must be a 6. So let's get rid of all of the numbers there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. This one can't be 2 or 4. And 9 is definitely up here along with whatever's there. In fact, that doesn't clear this up. But this cage is even as well, and it doesn't have the 7 in. That's what we now know. It's 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 8 there. That's not a 6, and this is a 6. And these match, and that's exactly what we want. The cage, remember that the cages are coloured according to the total of the cage, not according to the total of the digit. We can't have a 6 in those cells. Now, this is 16, so this is 32, and it doesn't have a 6 in it. The digits missing include 6. We've got 3 digits missing that add up to 13, the difference between 32 and 45, and they include 6. And they can't include another 6, so they're not 661. They can't include 2, so they're not 625. The digits missing are 643. And that means these digits will become 348. And we've got digits from 1579 here. And that cage is now going to add to 32. That's what we want. This one's 16. This one's 32. This one's 33. This one's 34. This one we don't know yet. But we've got a 348 triple there. That can't be 3 anymore. And these can't have 4 in it. And now we know the digit missing from this cage is a 2. So the total of this cage is 43. And we already know that the total of this one is 22. The total of this one is 44. It's 1 that's missing from this cage. So the 1 in the final column is there. 44, 22. Now, this is either 21 or 23. I don't know the answer. Oh, there's a 1 in these cells because it's not there. So there's no 1 in these cells in box 2, and that's the 1 in this 16 cage. It's got to be a 3 in one of those. Oh, that 6 must be the digit that appears here along with the digit not in this cage. So that's a 2, 6 pair. And this cage, oh, it's missing an odd digit, so the 2, 6 is not that exciting. But that one has to appear in one of these 2 cells. Oh, look, I've got a 6 there, along with the digit missing from this cage. And we now, well, we don't know what it is. We know it's a high odd digit, 7 or 9. This one is 40. I mean, yeah, we've established that. This is 44. This is 22. These can't be 1 or 3 because these can't be 2 or 4. Right, where does that leave us? This is a 33 cage, and this is 32. We've got 22 here, so this is now (20, 22, or 24). Plus, oh, what can these be? In a 32 cage, that could be a 9. That would leave 15 here. I don't know. This doesn't. It just doesn't get anything done. It's not narrowing enough. that digit has to be in one of these cells in box 4. Okay, what do we know about this total? We know that this is 33, that's 34. This is either 35 missing 3 digits that add up to 10, or it's 33 missing 3 digits that add up to 12. I don't know what that implies. I don't know. Okay, this can't be 3 anymore because of the black dot. This can't be 6. That's 1, 2, or 4. This is 2, 4, or 8. Can't be 1. Can I really work out anything on this cage? I could do my holistic thing again, the whole grid added up. Or, oh, now maybe I can make some serious progress on adding up these cages against the 2 boxes. Right, these cages add up to 16 and 32 is 48. And this cage is missing a 2, so it's worth 43. That's 91 for the 3 cages. And that means that these 2 cells add up to 1 more than that one. And that 1 more is here. So those 2 are the same numbers, 5 or 7. And I could have probably worked that out anyway from this box. That's really annoying. That's done nothing. I suppose if this was a 7, we would need a 7 in this cage in one of these 2 positions. Oh man, that was rubbish, wasn't it? What a poor effort I made there. Oh, dear me, this puzzle. It could drive you crazy. Okay, the digit missing from this cage is an even digit, 6 or 8, isn't it? Well, it can't apparently be 8 anymore because I don't have 8 as a candidate in those cells. What have I misunderstood there? So we were up to 33 or 35, 34 or 36. Somewhere between 33 and 37 there. Right, but this can't be below. This is 36 or 38. And this is therefore 37 or 39. The digit missing is 8 or 6. The digit missing is 8 or 6. So if it's 8 that's missing, that digit is a 6. But if it's 6 that's missing, all I know is that that digit is not a 6. I would know that this corner wasn't an 8 because there would be an 8 in one of those cells. It's that digit and the missing digit that appear in these 2 cells. I know I'm having to constantly recapitulate the things that I theoretically know, but that's just the way of it, I'm afraid. These are select. Oh, one of these is a 6. That is just known by Sudoku. The other one could be 1 or 3 or 5. I think that's all. And that's why I've got 9 marked as in one of these 2 cells. I don't know. I don't know what to be thinking about. It's so difficult, this. 3, 4, 8 there. Can't rule 8 out of that cell from this cage. I haven't got enough. Oh, this one. What does this add to? We're up to 33, 34 or 36 here. That's 33 or 35. This is 34 or 36. Missing a total of 11 or 9. And that total of 11 or 9 would be included in these, would it? In these 3 cells? No, not necessarily. Or would it? Let's just compare with this one. The digits missing were 3, 4, 6 from that, and they did have to appear in the rest of the row. Yeah, so if the digits are missing from this that add up to 9 or 11, they have to appear in these cells. I don't know, is that any use? Is that any use to you guys? 2, 6. These include 8, and they also include 4, I've just noticed. I mean, that's not going to do any little thing. That digit has to be in one of these. Is it adding up the total of the whole puzzle? Maybe. Maybe it's worth doing. So I know that's 22, and this is 44, and this is 43. So that's 109 already. Then I know that we've got 16 and 32, and another 32. So that's 80. So we're up to 189 on our way to 405. So what do we go with, maxima or minima from here? Oh, well, I already know this is 33 and this is 34, so that's another 67. So if my maths is right, that's 196, 256, very square number. Right, and there are only 5 cages left. And they have to add up to 405 minus 256. I reckon that is 149. And we've got, what, 22. So we could have 21 and 20. Or 23 and 24. Or either of those with 22. And then over this other side, let's imagine we were getting, let's go for the max. So we had a 34 there. We've got, let's say there were 35, 36, 37. That's an average of 36. That's 108. Plus the max on the other two would be 24 and 23. Ooh. The trouble is, now I'm coming to the wrong parity. So I hope I've done my maths a tiny bit wrong. If I'm coming to the wrong parity, have I got not an odd number of odd numbered boxes? Did I mess up when I was comparing the parities before? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I've got 5 odd numbered boxes, so I've just messed up in the maths here. That's a relief. I'm aiming for 149 with 3 odd boxes. Yeah, that's right. 35, 36, 37 is 108. And then I'm thinking that these could be 23, 24 at the maximum, which is worth, 47. That gets me to 155. And that's 6 too much. So going max is 6 too much. So going min would make this 33, 34, 33. And these would be, on this side, 21 and 20. 4, 7, 10, 11, 1, 3, 5, 141. I mean, that's the trouble. This wasn't worth doing because the minimum is 8 below and the maximum is 6 above the number I need. And that means I can't even deduce anything from that at all. That is so depressing. It was rather what I expected to happen, was that that calculation wouldn't actually help. And there we are. Bother. Oh, lordy. Right, we know, but this, I couldn't reduce this to 33. So that is not the minimum. Or 35. This has to be at least 37. So the minimum is 35, 36, 37. Isn't that the maximum as well? No, the maximum is 37, 38, 39. Or maybe I didn't even add the maximum then. Oh well, but the minimum is this is 33, this is 34. So the minimum is 33, 34, 35. I didn't add the minimum. No, but this can't be 35 because that's an impossible total for the cage. And this can't be 34. So actually, this we know is 33. We now know this is 34. And this must be 35 to get this to 36. And this will be 37. Oh, I see. This is all just available. 32 here, 33, 34, 35, 36, which is the minimum total for this, and it's missing a 9. Oh, there's much more available then. So there's a 9 missing from that. So one of these is a 9, not a 7. And this has got to be 37, missing an 8, and that 8 has to be here. That has to be right. Oh, goodness, I'm sorry I've been so dense about this. So, this cage is missing the 8. And these two digits, no, these two are the missing 8 and 6, which must now be there. And that makes that a 6 and that a 2. And this cage is, I had missed this connection between that now being 33 known because this is 32, which makes this 34. And the fact that this has a minimum of 36, I'd missed that connection. So this is missing a 9 in it. Isn't it? 36. Yes, it is. It's missing a 9. So this digit is not a 9, and this is a 9. Wow, okay. That can't be 2 anymore by Sudoku of all things. There is a 6 in one of these 3 cells. I'm not going to pencil mark that because it's going to confuse the heck out of me. But I can do the maths. I could do the maths. We now know, I should have known before, but we now know that these are 37, 38, no, 34, 35. I'd done the 34 before, so they're 35, 36, 37. That's 108 out of my 149. Right. These two have to add up to 41. That's the answer for that pair. And they are therefore going to be the minimum, 21 and 20. Wow, I mean, that's taken me a ridiculous length of time to work out, but I told you to come on a journey with me, and here you are. This one adds to 20. This cage is worth 32, so these are at least 15. And this one's a 21. I mean, the fact that I know this, why doesn't it help a little more? It's so cruel. Okay, I know there's a 2 in one of those cells because of the black dot. Does this cage need a 2 in it? I doubt it very much. It adds, in fact, what 3 digits are missing from this cage that adds to 34? They add up to 11. And they appear in these digits, the 3 digits that add up to 11 that aren't in that cage. In fact, 6 is one of them, because that 6 sees everything. So the other 2 digits are here. They're either 4 and 1 or 2 and 3 that aren't in this cage. So 5, 7, 8 and 9 are in the cage. 9 is in one of those cells. And these include either 4, 1 or 2, 3. Well, we know they include a 2 in one of those cells. But they could also include 1, 2, 4. That's so irritating. Okay, let's try this cage, which we now know adds up to 35. And it's got a 9 and an 8 in it already. Oh no, not necessarily. It's got a 9... and 2 of these digits. Doesn't have a 6. The 3 digits missing from this cage add up to 10, and they involve a 6. So they are 6, 3 and 1 that are missing from this cage. So that's a 2, 5, 7 triple. I do find this difficult, but I am soldiering on. 35, that is now correct for this cage. Surely I know what that is. If I just add up this cage, 6, this is a 36 cage, so those add up to 30, plus 6 plus 9 is 45. That places 9 in box 9. That places it in this 21 cage, which has now got a 6 in it, and must now be 9, 6, 1, 2, 3. Right, so those involve a 1 or a 3, and these are from 1, 2, 3, and definitely involve a 2. And these white dots don't, well, they either have 5 or 7 here, and either 2 or 4. Darn, I can't fix that. 9 is not in those cells, though. There is a 9 in this box. Now, 6, 9, 2, 5, 7. These are from 1, 3, 4, 8. But what do I know about, so this cage, let's go back to that. What was I saying was missing from this? 11, including 6. So it needs 9, 7 and 5 in these cells, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. 9, 7 and 5 are not missing digits in this cage, so they appear somewhere here, and that's not 5 or 7. That's 1 or 3, and in this column must appear in one of those cells. Well, it's got to be 3. Ha ha ha. And that's where 9 goes in the box. And now there's no 3 there. Now, does this have a 3 in it? We don't know. We still don't know whether the missing digits from this cage are 641 or 632. Yes, we do. They can't be 641 because they can't both be on the dot. So the digits missing from this cage are 632. And that means this is the 1 or 4 that appears on the black dot here. And on the white dot here, this is 2 or 5. I haven't really looked at these white dots for a while. This is 5 or 7. And that's a pair in this column. These are selected from 1, 3, 4, 8. This white dot could be anything at all. In this column, I can place 3 now, down at the bottom. Well, the journey continues. Could be a 2-hour journey today. 2 is in one of those cells because of the black dot. Seven, those can't have a 9 in anymore. That's a 1, 5, 7 triple. That's a 4, 8 pair. That's a 3. These don't have a 3 in. They're 1, 4, 8. They're 2, 5, 7. These digits are 3, 6, 9. That can't be an 8, so this can't be a 9 on the white dot. Now, that can't be a 1 on the greater than sign. That's quite interesting. I get to use the normal Sudoku things here and these white dots now. This is where I want to be anyway. Now, this group of cells are 4, 8, 9. Okay, this group adds up to 20. Is that any use yet? Can I put 8 in them? No, I don't think so. Still got more to do. 6 and 8 in row 7. They're in this box. So they can't reappear in this cage, which has now got 3, 9 in it. And that has to be a 7 to make up the cage total to what it needed to be, which is 33. That's a white dot to a 2 or a 4. Oh, I've got the negative constraint that I'd forgotten about and might finally come into its own. I hope I don't need it. This is higher than 6, so it's 8 or 9. That can't be 8, so we've got a 1, 4 pair here. And this is now 7 on the dot. So that's 5, that's 2, that's now 7, that's 5. Going round the grid with 7s and 5s. We can't have 2 in those cells, or that one. We knew 2 wasn't there because it was on the black dot. In fact, that's a 1, 2, 4 triple now. So these digits are 5, 8, 9. We can't have 5 on that greater than sign. So there's no 5 in those cells, and this is a 5. There's no 5 in those cells. And these don't have 1 in. They're a 2, 3 pair. And that means 3 is not in those two. That is a 1, 6 pair. 4 doesn't appear here, and 2 does. So 2 doesn't appear here, but it is on the black dot, so it's there. That's not 2 either now. This can't be 7, that can't be 6. This can't be 7. Have I got some sort of quadruple or triple going on here? No. But I know that this cage, I know what it adds up to. It's 32, so we've had 14. These add up to 18. And we can't use 8 or 6. We're going to have to use both evens, because one of the evens is there. We're going to have to use the other even. So 2 and 4 are in this 18 total. They add up to 6. We need another 8, which is not 1 and 7 because the 7's there. This is 3 and 5 along with 2 or 4. And these digits now are 1, 6, 8, 9, but they don't feel like they add up to 20, which was what I thought I wanted them to add up to. So I must have got this cage total wrong. So let's undo what I just did. We want this cage to add up to 32, and we've already had 14. So these add up to 18. And they've got 2 and 4 in because we need both evens if we've got 1. The other two digits add up to 12. They are 9 and 3, not whatever I said a moment ago. So that's 2, 3, 4, 9. 7 there, 1, 5, 6, 8. They do add up to 20, which was what we needed this cage to be. This white dot has got to be 1 and 2. That feels helpful. That's a 3. Let's take 1 out of a few cells that it sees. Oh, and there, 6 and 1. This is 2, this is not 2. In this row, that becomes 4. This is not 4, that's not 2. 1 doesn't work there anymore. This is 8 and 7. That's a 4. That's got to be greater than 2. That's touching 1 on the white dot. It's coming. It's coming. Oh, I can't believe this. 5, 6 pair there. That's a 9. That's a 5. That's a 3. This is 4 or 7, not 9. This is actually 4 or 7 as well, and we've got the greater than sign to tell us which way round they work. There we go. 4 there, 1 on the black dot, 7 there. Now, just the central 3 columns to do. We can take 4 out of those cells, and 2 and 3 out of that. I might still... Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. I was just wondering, am I going to have to use the negative constraint now? Probably am. So, I don't know. I really don't want to, because it's going to be so confusing, and I'm already pretty confused. So there's a, I don't know, that connection, that doesn't connect with this cage. It's probably cages that are already connected with dots and that aren't going to sustain another connection with dots. Like those to, what is this? This is 32 to 20. No, they would never have a connection. 6 and 3, no. I mean, those two cages are not connected by that difference, but it's maybe somewhere here. 32, what's this one? Oh, it's much bigger, isn't it? That's about 35, I think. I don't know, I might be doing my head in unnecessarily. Can I do this by Sudoku? Yes, look, 4 is looking at that cell. That's a 1. And that's a 5. And that does this triple. Now, 7 is looking down there. Right, Sudoku is a better way to go. I've got the 4 in the top row. 4, 8, 3, 7. That can't be 3. That can't be 2. Now I'm struggling a bit. So, but here we go. Look, if that was a 2, there would be a black dot between those two cells, just as there is there. So you do need that blooming negative constraint. That's really hard. But it does get the job done. And I mean, what an exciting puzzle. Honestly, that is, as I said at the beginning, a journey, but absolutely thrilling one. Not many people have solved that in 2 years, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. That is absolute monstrousness. Well, I know you can object to the journey you took with me there if you want, at a couple of phases, but when something is that hard, that's the kind of length of time it's going to take. It's been fun. Well done, Rix. That really is 5 out of 5 puzzle, but I'm hoping not to do another one like that tomorrow. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.